Welcome back to Breaking Chains and Building Dreams, where we tackle the toughest topics that shape our lives. Today, we're diving into a subject that's close to my heart and has impacted many in our community: money. Growing up on the south side of Chicago, financial literacy wasn't a part of the curriculum. Instead, I learned about money through the streets, leading to a cycle of highs and lows. From quick cash to owing money, today's episode's about my journey with money and the lessons that I wish I had learned sooner. So if you're ready, you know what to do. Súbanse a la Suburban, because we're about to take a ride. What's up, guys? How you guys doing? My name's JC. I am your host today. And today we're going to talk about money. Yeah. you know, um, Growing up in my household, it was really about just getting up every day early in the morning and going to work. I wasn't really taught about investing, real estate, stocks, and none of that stuff. It was just about going to work, putting food on the table, and that was it. And and I get it, because that was the frame of my family, my you know older generation, and it's what I try to tell like a lot of the younger Latinos or Mexicanos or Chicanos, whatever. If you're from parents from other places, like your mindset has to change because now you're in the land of opportunity. Now you're in America, so like you have to learn about money because this I call it like here, if you work hard and you dream, this is the Cinderella story land. I believe that dreams come true. So your mindset has to change. You can't be that just, and I'm not saying there's something wrong with that work, because there's nothing wrong with that work. There's people that are very gifted in that work. I'm just saying that if you want more, you can obtain it, you know? My childhood money lessons were like, I grew up, we weren't rich, but we weren't middle class either, and that led to a lot of lack of financial education for me at home. And when I started pretty much getting fed up with people making fun of me for wearing, Payless shoes, I revert to the streets. My grandfather tried to help me as much as he could. He would pay me. I think it was $25 just to cut the grass. And if people remember my house on 59th, it was the house that had the whole lot. Like we didn't have a house next to our house. It was a whole lot of grass, and it was like it was a pretty big job. But he would pay me $25, and I was a very young kid, and $25 went a long way. But I got tired of people making fun of me of the cheap clothes that I was wearing and the shoes. I wouldn't get haircuts until it was like bad. I wouldn't get shoes until it was like bad. What I'm saying, like my toe hanging out, like ripped. Um, my clothes was always from like Kmart, and you know, um, I would get teased. I would get made fun of, and it was hard for me because even when I played basketball in grammar school, like they made fun of my shoes. So I've told this story before. When the Bo Jacksons came out, I really wanted those shoes, and they were expensive. They were expensive, and my uncle, he's not here no more. My uncle Pepe, he was like, you know, get half the money and I'll give you the other half. And in his mind, I guess he thought that I was gonna like cut the grass and do like side jobs and stuff like that. But honestly, like I started hustling weed because at the time I had a lot of older friends that would just give it to me, and I wasn't really smoking. I wasn't really, doing that. So like I would sell it. And I, you got this 12-year-old kid trying to be a drug dealer, right? And I see the potential in it. I see how people actually want to buy this stuff. So I start doing, shady stuff. I start, selling oregano to like the younger kids and crushing up Tylenol and I knew who to do it to. Like it was the younger kids that were asking for it, and I would give it to them. And but I started hustling. I started hustling, and I started making money. But it actually didn't teach me about saving. It didn't teach me about investment. So like I would make the money and spend it. I would make 1,000 and spend it. I would buy a pound of weed back then for like 500, 450, and I would break it all down into dime bags, and I would make about 900 bucks. And from that, I would get another one with a little bit more, and then it went up to where I was selling quarter pounds. So then I was getting two at a time. And it was little by little that I started like moving up, but I was always just spending the money that I was making because I was constantly like buying clothes or trying to get jewelry and making stupid investments. Like I remember one time when on my very first trip to Mexico, I grabbed the $12,000 and I went and I got I got some drugs. And I wanted to get into a I guess you said I wanted to get into street sales. I wasn't happy with just making the money from the driving, right? I got greedy and I invested and I was trying to learn how to cook crack so I could start making money. Well, I threw that in the water, really didn't know what I was doing. Um, Ended up losing all that, and it was a half a slab. So like and to this day I really don't even know if I was young and stupid, man. I can't really say I was like the brightest crayon, but I to this day I don't even know if he even probably gave me fake stuff or just stuff that was re-rocked or just cooked bad, or I don't know. But I ended up losing the whole thing. I lost the whole $12,000. And in my head, yeah, I was mad, but then I was like, okay, so I'll go back to the streets and make it. You know how Scarface says in the movie, I'll make a couple moves here and there. Oh, so you're making moves now on your own. And that was my life. I would lose all that money, the drug money. So then I would go and find me a job. I would work for maybe 1 or 2 months and then get right back to, buying drugs and selling again. And, it's, I don't know if it's like a Chicago thing or what, but what I did learn about a lot of my older acquaintances, older educators, older friends was that in Chicago, a lot of the drug dealers that stay under the radar are the ones that sell, and they'll buy a key and sell in small quantities, but they're still going to work every day. So from that they grow slowly into buying like small businesses, and their house is paid off, and they start getting better financially, but they stay under the radar because they keep it very small operation. um but it's a thing in Chicago where most drug dealers like sell drugs and are like hard workers. But believe it or not, living that lifestyle of not knowing how to save money, not knowing how to pretty much not even knowing how to work for your money created this struggles in my adulthood that when I got out of prison, man, I was sometimes facing poverty. Like I never had money put away. I was always asking for money to be lent to me. And it was hard too because like I had an addiction. I drank a lot. I did a lot of drugs. Even though sometimes I had really good jobs that paid very well because I've done pretty good, my whole life. God has blessed me. He's always had his hand over me, and even in most troubling times. Like I've always managed to get work and become good at it and just move up and get paid. You know, I can't complain about that. Like it's just it was me. I had a mindset of poverty. I had a mindset of just poor. Like I kept thinking, oh, I'm from the hood, and you should never think like that. You know, doesn't matter where you come from. Really, a lot of the self-made millionaires here in America come from hoods, come from people that have struggled. You know, take everything that you learned in your life and take it all into consideration. I always struggled to save money, so like I started really get into a lot of problems. You know, when I got out of prison, my child support was like through the roof, almost over 100 grand. And I owed money for my license and I owed money for all kinds of stuff because even though I was making all that money, all that drug money, I never paid for tickets. I never paid for anything that mattered for the future. Does that make any sense? It's why it's so crucial to teach our kids about money. Because honestly, after having that $1 million in my closet, I should have had something to come home to. After having a house, after having a couple of businesses, after, making over 100 in a year, I should have had money put away. I should have had a house. I should have had real estate. I should have had something, and that's why it's important to teach our kids step by step financial literacy, saving, investing, opening up bank accounts. Like I told my son yesterday, my son's name is Rudy. I named him after Cato, and in Chicago. His name's Rudy Valentine, and he's 16. And I was like, hey, I'm gonna open up a bank account for you so you can have a debit card. But my main goal is I want to teach him to save and put away because, as teenage kids, I get it. We get girlfriends or we want to go out, we want to wear this or have the most expensive phone and stuff like that. But none of that stuff really matters. It really doesn't. It doesn't. We're not taking it with us. We're not. It doesn't make us. It didn't. I used to tell a big saying that we used to have in the Rough Riders when me, Tito, KB, with the old squad was there, Knox. It was always, the vest doesn't make you. You make the vest. Teach your kids. Teach your kids about money, about real estate. Teach them about stocks, about uh, investing and saving money. You know, I wish a lot of things could have been different. As a kid for me, but I don't regret nothing no more. I don't sit here and whine or cry about it because I'm here. I'm here and I'm able to do something about it now. I'm able to try and teach my kids now. So I'm trying to learn as fast as I can. I'm trying to lead by example, motivate, speak, stand up. I'm stepping up really big for prison reform now, and learning about the stats, learning about the percentages, learning about the laws, the halfway house. I could go on and on and on, but it's all about education, man. Don't let your past hold you back from who you need to be. And people are like, I don't know who I need to be. Well, that's where God comes in. That's where, you getting on your knees and really just giving it all to Him is how you're going to find your purpose and your calling and who you're supposed to be. Because everybody has a gift, everybody has a calling. Some are the best mechanics, some are the best cooks, some are the best preachers, some are the best motivational speakers. But everybody has a calling. And when we put God first in everything that we do, it becomes a fruitful thing. It becomes honey. It becomes life. It becomes love. It becomes understanding. You know, I'm not rich today. Far from that. But I'm not worried about my bills. Not because I have a lot put away, but because I know that if God can take care of every single little bird in this world, I know he can take care of me. Plus, I need to eat like a little bird so I can lose some weight. Hey guys, I just want to say thank you for your support. Thank you for the just thank you for just everything. As we wrap up today's episode, I want to leave you with this. Money does not define our worth, but it does define the impact and quality of our life. Whether you're from the south side of Chicago or anywhere else, financial literacy is a skill that we all need. Let's break the cycle and start teaching our kids about money. Join me next time as we continue to break chains and build dreams together the wrong to strong way. My name is JC. I am wrong to strong. Stay in your lane, live savage, and remember, live for him. I love you guys.